Welcome to Bootcamp Buddhist, the show that brings Buddhism to your daily life in a way you can really understand. This week on Bootcamp Buddhist, we're talking about emptiness. So last week we talked about the laws of karma. Well, karma needs some way to express itself. Emptiness is that vehicle of expression. Emptiness is a concept that's very hard to get a good understanding of. It can be approached in many different ways, but ultimately it has to be experienced in deep meditation. However, to experience it requires that we gain an intellectual understanding of it first. And thankfully we can also use that intellectual understanding in our daily life also. So this show is really about helping you to get a grasp of what is meant when we say emptiness. So the examples we're going to use is the angry boss. According to the laws of karma, which we talked about in the last show, you see an angry boss because you acted angrily in the past. But you can also see a friendly or kind boss if your karma is different. But how? This is where emptiness comes in. Buddhism would say your boss is empty, meaning they're neither angry or kind from their own side. You could say that they don't exist the way you thought they did. The way I understand this, or understood this best at first, was as a cinema screen. Your mind is a projector and the boss is a blank screen. If the movie you made and put into the projector for later viewing is Angry Boss Part 1 or Kind Boss the sequel, is dependent on what happened when you recorded the movie. In other words, when you planted the karmic seed, was it a seed for anger or kindness? Let me run through that again. You have this blank screen available for your movie. What you see on that screen is dependent on the movie you recorded earlier. In other words, your previous karmic actions which have been recorded in your mind, they're going to get played back on the blank screen. So how you see the empty boss as angry is by being angry. If you want to see a different boss in the future, you have to stop being angry. Of course, this concept of emptiness is not just applicable to bosses. Everything has the same degree of emptiness. And yes, this does cause brain freeze, or at least a similar feeling when you start to think about it at first, which is why it also needs to come with a warning. A common mistake is what we call the two extremes. First, thinking things only exist or can only exist the way we think they do. And second, thinking things don't exist at all. The truth is in between. Things exist because they are empty, but they don't exist the way we thought they did. So on that bombshell, we come to the end of the show. I'll be back next week with another mind-blowing Buddhist topic. And in the meantime, you can check out the blog, www.bootcampbuddhist.com. You can follow us on Twitter @BootcampBuddha, or like us on Facebook, facebook.com/BootcampBuddhist. And remember to subscribe here on YouTube by pressing the subscribe button right up in the corner. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. You can comment here on Twitter, Facebook, or on the blog. Or perhaps you'd like to post a video reply. So until next week, bye from Bootcamp Buddhist.